Hello there, welcome to another video. This is going to be a team game that was played, yesterday. So a lot of people playing on Voobly yesterday. If you don't know what that is, you find a link down below. That's basically just the client where you can play these games online. So you can get into a game room, launch it up, and everyone will be there, and you can choose your settings, etc. And in this game, we are on Team Space Satellites. So there's a few space maps in this game. This one is kind of like you've each got a shared island. It's very similar to Team Islands, but just in space. And because there's tons of space and there's not really anything you can do with space, unlike in the water maps, you can get ships out there and you can fish and stuff, and you actually get something for losing the space. And this one is very compact. There's not a lot of land. It's quite tight and it's difficult because for whatever reason they add tons and tons of hills and stuff, which makes placing command centers so difficult because there's some sort of weird elevation rule where you can't really place CCs over elevation. So without further ado, we'll get into the teams and such. So we've got myself here in the Gungans, in the green. My wing is RVA here on my team, playing as the Royal Naboo. The other pocket on our team being Risk here, and the red is the Republic. And filling things out here as the last wing on the team is going to be Nexu here on the blue Confederacy, and he's facing off against Raphael here as Jedi Master 69 on the orange Rebel Alliance. And his pocket, if I can ever find him because he's grey, is SY Tumen, so Stuart there in the grey Galactic Empire. The other pocket being Unholy in the purple Trade Federation, and last but well, probably least, is Hunter here as the teal Wookiees. And what's interesting about these team maps is this is the same for Team Islands, is that there tends to be like these rules for spawning just tons and tons of these like little huntables. So you might see tons of EOPs on the Team Islands one, and here you'll see like these crazy amounts of Minox sometimes. You can see just like big packs of them, which is pretty cool. This is the only, like, I've got a map pool that I've made, and this is like the only space map I left in it just because there's some sort of like tactical interesting stuff to it because you share the islands, but you are separated. It's a little bit better than like the asteroids, because the asteroids is just like everyone's on their own island as well. I can't remember if that's sort of like the Space Force deployment or not. I like this one just because it's like the shared team areas. So you can scout around your teammates and such. You share the land, and it's almost like it's a team effort to try and maintain control of your like asteroid and stop your opponents landing there. Because once they get a foothold, then they can start throwing in units into your economy and such. So it becomes of vital importance. And you do still all start with the transports, and the transports, particularly on the wings, is very important because you're going to feel compelled to basically just get your food production going in such a way that you can keep your worker production going and rush to get a troop center and a power core up and just throw out these trooper recruits. You get up to about 5, which is the max capacity of the transport, and you want to be basically just using that to harass your opponent. The idea being you can drop the troopers down, they can snipe a worker, and before your opponent can really respond to it or shoot back, you just load back into the transport. And that way you can basically terrorize them and make them have to move their workers around prematurely. They have to be very proactive to limit the damage that you can do. But at the same time, they're very likely going to do the same thing back to you, because it's almost like mutually assured destruction. You just have to do it back to your opponent, otherwise you're going to fall far behind. And there can be certain components that matter in terms of that. Like, for example, Nexu here, his carbon is very, very far from his command center, which is going to feel a little bit bad for him. His berries are sort of close to it, so he's going to probably want to like build his troop centers here and pool his troopers, because the way of like winning this when you're both doing it is basically just defending better. As you can see, Raphael's got a very good spawn here, so his carbon and his berries are just very close to one another, so when he starts to pull out extra troopers once he's loaded the 5, you can use those to try and respond to the ones that are dropped and maybe kill them off. And if you can bring that number down to about 2 out of the 5 in the transport, then the DPS is not really there to like snipe your workers so much. But if you've got like 3 and up, it's pretty good to basically guarantee that you're going to get a kill of a worker every time you drop down. And so you're going to see this from all the wings really, as they feel compelled to do it. I see RVA seems to be the one who's absolutely here in the lead in terms of getting like his infrastructure up. So it looks like he's managed things very well here. He's already got his power core up, he's got his troop center up, Nexu seems to be the least ahead here, kind of behind. His power core has not been started yet, which means he's going to fall behind Raphael here, I think. And this could be bad for him. He's like rapidly trying to build up this power core. Like basically everyone in the Geonosian town has been conscripted to build this power core. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. I mean, I've got it on the lowest speed really. I'll try and follow it all, but there's just going to be like 4 transports to keep a hold of. Not the easiest. And we can see as RVA was definitely the one who got his stuff going. I'll just make sure that we've got 5 in this transport. We absolutely do. So you can see the Hunter's not actually left his base yet. And this is not a good spot to be in at all. And he's going to drop down. And you see, you might think maybe, oh, I should drop these to defend it. But he's just going to go back in the transport. You need to be counter-attacking immediately. Because that's honestly the best way to defend it, is to be doing it yourself. And then all your new troopers, you can stack these up. Maybe he wants to keep them until he's got like 3 or 4 or something. Because if he puts them out one and two, these guys could drop down and just basically snipe them. You see, he is counter-attacking here, and what we just talked about, he's going to throw this all away. He's just not paying attention. He could have killed all of those troopers and then gone flying back into the transport. Not too keen on that decision making. And on the other side of things, yeah, he loses 1 trooper RVA here, but he does kill a lot of these. And basically, what these are, he's basically destroying the hope of Hunter, like reclaiming this area. He's had to eat some of the carbon around, and I forgot to check on the other side of things. Is that Raphael just landing now? It doesn't look like there's any corpses. It must be. And he's managed to kill off a couple of troopers here that were guarding the food processor. Managing to bash these down a bit, Nexu. But he's only really got 1 of the troopers. And again, a few more workers dying over here. I'm just going to turn down my desktop volume a little bit. It's concerning me. I don't want to get back into the tyranny of the game sound being too loud. It probably isn't, but it just seems a little bit too loud. And following everything here. Again, I do remember Hunter did lose his, didn't he? I don't even see his transport anymore. I don't know where it's gone. Nexu is desperately trying to defend this here. The Strooper caught. Very good pickup there by Raphael. And he could have stayed there and killed a couple of workers. He's taxed at home because he can see that Nexu's doing it back to him. He's actually killed quite a few workers here. Just barely missed that. He's got a scout keeping an eye on these troopers. But again, as I said, this is a very easy sort of positional thing. And RNG does come into this a lot. Just because if everything's in the same area, it's easier for you to move the troopers around proactively and follow the transport. Yeah, I'm not seeing any sort of counter-aggression anymore for Hunter. He's sort of just getting held hostage by this transport now. Oh, there it is. I wonder how many have we got left in here. Oh, only 1, and he's basically got 1 health as well. He's not much of a threat to the Naboo workers there. And shouldn't really need to say this, but pockets are obviously just going off to T3. You know, sometimes there's maybe the potential for a pocket to do this kind of play as well to another pocket, but more often than not, you've got an added distance and stuff, and it could be kind of easier to weather the storm really when it's pocket v pocket doing it. Pockets are much better suited at just getting to T3 and then influencing these sides as soon as possible, because they're going to be locked in T1 or T2, because everything's just been really put on hold for getting these troops together and getting the transports, dropping the troops off to do aggression. So they're going to be a lot more vulnerable, because if you look around you can see that it's not like a typical game. There's only 1 troop center, and 1 troop center building anti-air troopers is not the best. So definitely need to help out a little bit more there on the wings from the pockets. I see both players still running their transports around. It looks like Raphael's pulled his home. Wonder if he's lost his troopers. Yeah, he's got the same thing as Hunter here with just 1 HP, 1 trooper. I think that's pretty much all the pockets hitting T3, whereas the wings is sort of hitting T2. Alright, upgrading his troopers and dropping them across here. And what we're going to do is just clear this up just to eliminate the threat of that. I didn't know how many were in it. And I don't know anything happening on the other side. We're risking. He's just gotten his air bases down. We seem to be a little bit ahead of everyone in terms of there's Unholies. Didn't quite sent his air over yet. This first fighter coming out. And we're going to start harassing here, scouting ahead for the troopers and stuff. We've all got that shared hollow net now, and first fighter from Unholy coming here. Are we paying attention? Do snipe it. And that's not going to feel too good for Hunter here. With all this air and these troopers getting on top of him here. Because the sound really compacts up when there's loads of stuff dying. The other side of things, a drop from Raphael. Still keeping up the pressure here. A lot of air rallied from SY here. It looks like Risk is off getting like holocrons and stuff, but he's probably going to have to come down and help. And this is absolutely baffled me, that. His fighters fired so quickly, and we managed to miss as well when we fired back. So yeah. So we lost our aggression there to that. On the other side of things, got SY getting on top of Nexu here. Risk does have some fighters, but he doesn't quite have enough yet. It's double the amount here. Nexu losing a lot of workers. Risk is going to take the trade now. SY not paying attention too much, and Risk getting a very good trade here. Although these guys keep shooting. Risk being lazy and not clicking on the fighter, keeps shooting the troopers. But he does clear that up, and Nexu, he's still kind of alive. He's in a lot better state than Hunter is here on the other side of the map. Hunter just getting his I thought it was two spaceports for a second there. Spaceport and a mech factory. And RVA not made any anti-air troopers yet. Which bothers me a little bit. Because he's relying on me a bit too much here. And when something like that happens, like a mistake, you lose some of your fighters and stuff, you do get pinned back a little bit. And I built a bomber just because we had them pinned, and I thought we could just keep killing the fighters that come from Unholy, and we could just bomb the power core and take away the ability to make anti-air troopers. So I yelled at him a little bit and told him to make 8. Because I feel like in the wing you should always do what you can to free up your pocket to actually play the game and do stuff, right? You shouldn't make them come and defend you forever. Because what happens when you do that is your pocket loses the ability to go and stop the other pocket doing what they want. And that's how a lot of these games end up with like people just going T4 and dominating the game with T4 air because they don't get harassed enough. I see Unholy gone straight to Risk here. Not inclined to come and fight me. He's going to lose some of his fighters here. Risk got quite a lot here to defend, being Republic. Nexu saying, I'm going to be T2 a bit Hifraya, but Hifraya's on the other team. I don't know who he's referring to there. I can't remember why I really made these. But we end up dropping them across just to be annoying. Force them to make like different units and stuff. And give us a bit of vision. Because they're such durable units. So try to kill off these. You have to make a grenadier, which is expensive in terms of the food. RV now, T3. On the other side of things, we can see a bit of a raid here from Risk. Raphael got an anti-air turret up, he's getting his airbase down, he's got some anti-air troopers. And he's just slamming down a bunch of command centers. Anti-air turrets. SY on the other hand, not really up to much yet. Just on one command center as far as I can see. Look at all this Nova though. See, there's actually tons of like ore and Nova and stuff on this map, despite not having too much space to build things, so you can definitely get some of those high-tech units out later. And Risk look like heading back. He might kill this transport if he pays attention. It is grey though, might not see it on the minimap. Just sliding past it. I'll be building up some vision here on this side. And things are looking a bit quiet on the other side of the map now. as we are just roaming around here. I don't want to lose these units, but I thought I'd keep them on this side just in case. Give us some vision later or something like that. And I think all the airing players are trying to like think about going tech level 4. Kind of like the go-to strategy on this map if you're an air civ. It's not much danger if you get like strike mech harassed, so you can cut a few corners and just focus on building the air. That risk once again getting another holocron. He's up to about 3 now, so that'll be really good for his economy. Being Republic, getting that 33% bonus on the holocron generated Nova, so that's free Nova for him. As the game goes longer, he'll get a lot more out of that. And forced a couple of mech destroyers as well for a little drop there. Forced like 3 grenadiers. RVA try to like poke and prod with his air here. Not really worth it though, with just how much air is sitting there and the anti-air and stuff. Looks like Raphael going to be getting the other holocrons. And SY flying across his base here. Might meet Risk's air here. He's going to be on patrol and he's going to activate on that prefab. And he's actually getting sandwiched between SY and Raphael. But SY a little bit late getting the memo there. Seems to be flying in a staggered formation. Looks like a lot more people are understanding formations these days. Love air bugging out. Know that feel. RV going around here. Looking for a fight. Keeping Hunter down here. A few workers going down, which is going to feel really horrible when you're just trapped on one command center, and that's him just hitting T3 here. Unholy quick to respond here. RVA not following me anymore. He's about to go and fight this, kill these grenadiers. So I end up taking this trade alone here. With the air. RVA's air is absolutely fine though. I'm not really too bothered about keeping on air anyway, because I'm Gungan, so RVA losing quite a few there for free. Making it all not worth it. They could have maybe killed off all that air and then continued to terrorize Hunter here. And I think Raphael's probably on his way, yeah. So Raphael, after getting all the CCs up, and he's got that Rebel Farm bonus, and he had that sort of T2 eco, he's on his way to T4, maybe cut a few corners as well. He's got 2 holocrons here, so he's got a lot of the resources that he needs coming his way to get that air out, get the upgrades for it. There's a lot of Nova, a lot of food involved, and a wee bit of carbon too. Going up to 4 air bases, so he'll be looking to get as much fighters as he can out, get to T4, and see if he can beat the other players here. See, Risk is actually getting caught a little bit after losing his air there. SY with a counter attack, straight onto the Nova. Does actually manage to run a lot of these workers away and not lose them. That transport was like tanking some shots for him. And see, RVA still harassing around the side here. And what how Nexu's doing? It looks like he's trying to just boom up a bit. He's only up to like 2 command centers at the moment. Needs a few more. He's not really built any anti-air turrets, which is concerning. He's got any air troopers and stuff. Risk managed to chase down all those SY fighters. All those TIE fighters do die. Myself at home, me just trying to get our economy going. Let's see if RVA still not clicked the button yet. That should be Raphael away to tech in a moment. Unholy on the other hand seems to be getting a nice little boom here. I actually got a reasonable amount of flat area here. He's kind of lucked out for his CC placement. Tons of nice Nova there for him as well. He's got 4 Nova piles. A command center next to basically every one of them. Let's see these guys getting their trade set up. So they wanted to trade from here down to here. Get as much value as they can out of that. See RVA harassing some workers here. They're getting upgraded. Kind of just waiting for that to go out and do some raiding. Just these small groups of fighters to follow around. Only managing to land here onto our island, get an anti-air turret up. It looks like Risk is gonna commit here, kill off the workers. And what they could do is send the workers to bash this, but Raphael actually showing up here with his upgraded fighters, and nobody's gonna want to take that trade just now with the shields. The shield's very strong. There we go. So, taking the trade here. Risk actually killing all these off. Going pretty well for him there. Since there's such low numbers from Raphael, and Risk now hitting T4 as well, Raphael not really getting as much damage as he would like here. Does manage to kill off a few more though. Needs to maybe kill like a bunch of workers here. Get some value out of it. At the same time, you see RVA just sliding into Raphael's base at the moment while the fighter count's low, killing off some of the Nova workers. Just being as annoying as he can here. He's got another group of air over here. And Risk did hit T4. RV halfway to T4. I honestly like seeing Nexu just throw some workers and bash down this turret. Since they get that like bonus damage to it. A big gang of anti-air troopers are running around here. RV doing what you can to snipe off workers and stuff. These guys looking to get some sort of infrastructure up, I think, for Unholy here. Seems very compelled to try and drop down here on the map. Get things going. And looks like they're about to take a trade. Unholy absolutely ambushing RVA here and losing so many fighters just for free. Which is surprising because it looks like he had his advanced vision set up here. And you should have saw that one coming. And another sortie here of an attack from Raphael, sliding in here and killing off some workers of Nexu. Not too sure where Risk's fighters are at present. I think he probably had to like upgrade stuff and he's not really built any in that time. Just a few out. Up to fast fighter. Does have his shields and his armor. Almost even, he's just kind of down like 3 or 4 fighters here. But there will be a lot more at home, I imagine. I don't know where Raphael's actually rallying his. Yeah, rallying them over here, so he's got a few more. And he's just running around killing workers as he can. Well, Risk doesn't really have the numbers to take the trade at the moment. This is still sitting up here though. Like Raphael getting some troop centers down. And Unholy going to be getting these spaceports down for the team so they can start trading. And looks like we've woken from our deep slumber there, but just finishing off this fight between Risk and Raphael and Risk space. He cleans up those fighters. But again, there are still a few here and a cannon coming across. And it looks like we're going to be dropping across onto Hunter's base here. So we do have 2 mech destroyers here from Unholy, but there's not really too much else. And it's absolutely vital to get a foothold on your opponent's base. The quicker you can get set up, the less resistance you might face, and if you can get yourself set up, it's really difficult to remove. Just dropping some workers across. God, these things are so bad, they're pathfinding. Dropping all these mech destroyers, a couple of anti-air mobiles. I've got our air sitting there, just make it difficult for someone to take a trade into us. Same time being raided by Raphael while this is happening. Killing off some of our workers and stuff. I don't really care too much about that though. I just want to focus on getting this position secured for us. Going to build an anti-air turret. I imagine we are upgrading those to advanced. Slowly but surely. RV8 cleaning up these fighters from Raphael while we're doing this. And dropping what we can across. Cannons is clearing things up. You can kind of probably shoot that from here. And a lot of assault mechs being built here by Unholy. Let's get some fast fighters as well. Try to get to this position, but we've got the advanced turret up. He doesn't have shields being Trade Federation, and we're going to try and get this fortress up as well. See, SY managed to get a fortress here. There is one from Risk though. He might be able to get some cannons out quickly and knock this down. Not a lot of room here for SY to get what he wants going. And more air here. It's got this little turret still up, which probably should have been bashed down. But you can always retreat to if things get dicey. You're going to be clearing up this air from Risk, and maybe you can snipe the cannon as well. That'll be huge for guaranteeing this position for SY. Yeah, he does win that trade, so he can kill off the cannon if he pays attention. It did kill the power core though. You're gonna have to make a new one. See, we've not got much facing this yet. I'm assuming RV maybe killed off Unholy. Believe Unholy had some assault mechs and some transports he was going to drop across, and I think RV did snipe them. Couldn't quite catch that. Probably happened about here. You can see it with the sentry posts ahead of time, probably. We're not getting much resistance here at the moment. Hunter's just way too behind to have the units to deal with this, and Unholy's sort of got other plans. Just to kind of get down here and help. I think I never really got that spaceport down for their trading. Their trading here, it's not the best. They're kind of locked them out of this area. And I'm just pumping out cannons, destroying buildings as we can. It looks like another drop here of assault mechs going to land in Nexu's base with this air. This guy seems to be playing heavily in Nexu's side of the map. These fully upgraded assault mechs dropped, doing some damage. Lucky we don't have rebels on the team. That would shut this down very quickly. Nexu calling for Jedi here. RV being annoying, killing some of Raphael's workers, try to build some prefabs for him. Assault mechs doing a lot of damage to Nexu here. Just needs to get some units on top of them maybe. The big brain would be drop some mounties on them or something. Mess up their minimum range. And SY still got these little buildings here. It's slowly getting cleaned up by Risk, and a few strike mechs coming out and being annoying, but the air is going to kill them quite quickly. Slowly carving through Hunter's base here. Air sitting on top of the assault mechs, try to keep them safe as they're killing off command center after command center of Nexu here. And Raphael taking a bit of a bad trade there. Is Risk going to push him away now? And a few masters sliding out here for RV8. Continuing to get ourselves set up here in Hafraya's base. And some of the assault mechs coming across, so we've got all these cannons set up, we're going to have to use them to take these down. They do decent damage too, as you can see. Not performing the best out of shields and stuff against the mech destroyers and cannons. So kill does off quite rapidly. Again, he's still in Nexu's base. Not really throwing anything at these though, like any mounties or grenadiers or anything. Even some Acklys would be cool. Mess them up a bit. Try and make them shoot each other. Hopefully try to get a spaceport down here. One's much better trade, but kind of under threat us being here. Set up in the center of it. I'm not sure what is happening here. Like, these could just be getting bombed. I think Risk could just make some bombers and kill these. The air cruiser pushing in here. See, Raphael want to get an advanced anti-air turret here. You can set the air cruiser on it and such. Got SY dropping some strike mechs into RV's base here. The air is there to respond. Fryer still trying to rebuild himself here, as you can see. Just farms on the edge of the map. As we're pushing through again and again, building shields as we go. Let's try to clean this up a little bit. He's got his own masters out now. It's absolutely essential for clearing up these assault mechs. See the mounties getting on top of them now? They struggle with. Because they'll probably do more damage to themselves killing these than they will in terms of the mountie value. Trying to shoot the master here. You can go for the advanced turret though. Not much DPS. They're gonna get it. No, he does delete it just in time. See, Nexu saying that things were looking bad over that side, but did say that we're doing okay on this side, so you know, hang in there. So it's turning out quite a chaotic game. There's a lot going on now. So there's more assault mechs being dropped here by Unholy. It's maybe not the best choice anymore when there's like 2 players with masters out now. And in the meantime, we're just kind of killing off his command centers right now. And I see SY is trying to get some assault mechs down here, and RV's ran in here with his masters, managed to steal the shield and the power core. Might even get this turret. He gets the turret as well. This guy's not really paying too much attention to these masters. And we're just continuing our push here. Truth be told, I am absolutely dirt broke. There's too much going on. I'm managing too much and my idols are catching up on me. I still need a lot more carbon and food. And that lack of space as well just means it's a nightmare for me. Queen RV kind of share this bit. I don't have much space to be honest, like at all. Like this little bit, and then this, and it's mostly hills. So I need Hunter's base. Base for space. On the space map. The cannons still marching forward, killing off buildings as quick as possible. Honestly, I'm so poor I just consider it a miracle that nobody's actually like properly tried to fight me at all yet. Because I don't think I could handle it. Probably crumble quickly. Risk killing off that air cruiser and then try to run away from all the air from Raphael here. There's a lot of air here. And some of these getting stopped. It basically stopped and started shooting at the fort and died. The masters here are still being annoying. Converting things that get placed down like buildings and such. And you never really want to make masters as rebels into masters as the Republic and Naboo have, because you can't convert the masters. And they can, so you could technically make masters and lose them to them, and then you've got no counterplay really to that. The best thing you can do is just hide them in buildings and use them when you need them to clear up cannons and stuff. Or anti-air mobiles. Let's have an awful little choke here. It's not really good for our units. Might want to do something about that. Like that. See, there's not really much. A couple of bounty hunters just starting here for SY. Got SY and Unholy fighting us here. Trying to get these cannons sieged up again. I think I should have cleared up more of this carbon though. Because it's a bit awkward. These little carbon rocks are causing issues. Lack of space. See these fighters coming down from Raphael here. I do believe we've got some turrets here in this position. Maybe gonna kill off our cannons here. I'm in such a bad time with my poor economy. I have to start leeching food off of RVA. To fund the war effort here. Got a few assault mechs out there, kind of just never had much Nova. Should have gotten this quicker, but just been so busy. The other side of things, some units still getting built here. It looks like Raphael's actually gotten pretty well set up with his troopers. The thing is, he's just struggling to get like units down that kill off buildings because of the masters. As he risks getting a lot of his own troopers out here. He's not quite got all the upgrades yet, and he doesn't get the HP, so they're a lot worse than the rebel ones, but you can build them pretty quickly. And he's got a much better time than the other support units he's got. Still got these converted assault mechs that he's just throwing after these troopers, getting some huge bonus damage on these, killing these off. These guys try to run for their lives, the tyranny of this assault mech. And the fighter's coming in here from Risk as well. There's anything else going on at the moment. Yeah, lots of things getting converted. RVA stealing this turret and the sentry posts. So yeah, sentry posts can be converted. That was a question we were discussing the other day, and I didn't really know the answer to it. I thought they could, and they can. Confirmed. Myth busted. We're still holding this position. Again, I don't really understand why. I just feel like there's a ton of mech destroyers here, and I for the longest time couldn't even afford my last health upgrade. Just never felt I had the surplus to get it. There's so many units here. Tons of bounty hunters, cannons. They just don't seem very well coordinated with one another. I think if they were coordinated a bit better, they could just they could take these positions down. I don't think RV's got too many of his masters down here anymore either. He's off running around doing special stuff, getting chased by some bounty hunters here at the moment. He's coming back here to reinforce this position. So it's looking a little bit dicey. I think the best thing for us right now is that they keep just trading out of shield. They do get this new shield though. This generator survives so long, even though it's on fire. Looks like Risk doing some raiding here, finding the areas of Raphael's base that there's just not a turret at the moment. Looks like he's maybe heading towards their trade. Where even was our trade? Was it here? Could have built that wider. I guess there was concerns because at that probably the time that was set up, there was assault mechs in Nexu's base. Yeah, there's not a lot of units here. The cannons though, because they're just set up. Every time she has to build something, it's just getting auto sniped. Maybe need to micro these onto these bloody assault mechs. Yeah. See, they're pretty good cannons. Secret counter. These guys pushing back a bit, which I really am appreciative of because it's feeling a bit dicey here. And my economy is still just absolutely in shambles, and try to repair it slowly. Still many idols. Need more farms. Need more carbon spots. A lot of the carbon's actually up towards this part of the map. We're kind of eating everything down here. The master's actually getting blocked by the units trying to get in there and convert. Go for the craziest range. It looks like there's purge for Stuart here. These are just dying and they get converted. Rather than soaking up shots from his own units. They lost all their cannons though, so I can't really kill these shield generators at the moment. Encroaching on with some turrets and shields. And it looks like top of the map, Risk is starting to push things back here. It's a lot of air from Raph. It looks like he wants to send it down this way, but he needs to keep it here because Risk like pushing with this air cruiser and the troopers. He's got the transport, and he oversteps there with the AC. And is it going to be an own shot here? I imagine from Raphael if he ever clicks. Oh no! That was a bit of a moment. Did a little bit of a dance, like it was confused. Does he risk like converting fighters in the middle of this fight, I'm assuming. Trying to get the countdown, but he does lose all the troopers here. Where are we? We're slowly just shooting at this AA turret in the maximum range here, the AC. So it's 14 range for the turret, 12 for the air cruiser, but if you attack ground in a certain way you can just sort of hit it on the edge of the radius and outrange the turrets. These units from Unholy walking a bit too far forward into our shield here. A couple going down. RV is just free to be really big nuisance here as he's running around converting stuff, and then as he takes the turrets away he's using the air to harass the workers. And keeping what's left of Hunter down here. It's really all he's got now. Never really been able to find a way into the game. Nexu looks like he's doing a little bit better now. He's got these like strike mechs to sort of defend the homeland here. Help Risk out a bit with all these troopers. Not much upgrades on them though. Times are tough for the Confederacy. Does have these nice turrets here protecting like the spaceport down here though. RV is still running around with his masters converting everything as we're holding off here. Fighting the TF. Both got 281 health, MDs. We're at 219 because we still haven't got that other upgrade yet. I believe it costs like a lot of food, right? And I just don't have it. I'm poor. Way too poor. And Risk again, really starting to pull ahead. We've got to remember Risk's got all these holocrons. He's got like 3. I think Raph's only got 2 here, and doesn't get the bonus that Risk gets as well, so Risk is always going to have a little bit more Nova to play with to do what he needs to. AC getting some good shots here. It's never really been threatened at all. There's never been like anti-air mobiles try to kill it or anything like that. And it looks like it's kind of getting too much here, but RV's Jedi Masters converting everything. The team has agreed to just, they're going to call it there. They haven't broken this position. Risk is just getting in here, killing too many workers, and they're all going to GG. So that was the end of that. Well played to everyone involved. A pretty fun, interesting game. There's a few people whinging about the map, but I do enjoy these because they just seem a little bit more tactical, and they end up being kind of fun games in my opinion. But anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed watching that. If you like the content, you can consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel. If you leave a comment, it really helps the channel grow. If you want to get involved with our GBG community, you find a Discord invite link down below in the description. You find a link to Voobly where you can play this online. And if you want to help out the channel another way, maybe buy me a coffee, you find a PayPal link down below in the description below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.